Do you find yourself only creating art when the mood strikes? Let's break down what separates hobbyists from those who are deeply committed to their craft, and why this distinction matters if you're serious about developing yourself as an artist. Hi, my name's Carrie. Here on Artist Strong, I help self-taught artists with home studios who feel stuck with their art move from wondering what's next to confidently expressing themselves through unique, original art. To date, thousands have joined the community. If you feel like gaps in your learning hold you back from making your best art, sign up and watch my workshop, How to Create Art from Your Imagination. It's completely free to watch and a great way to get a taste of my teaching to see if I might be the coach for you. The link is in the description below. What does it mean to be serious about your art? For many of us, art starts as a passion, a spark of creativity ignited in childhood, a form of expression we return to when life feels overwhelming, or a way to capture fleeting moments of beauty. But somewhere along the journey, some of us feel a deeper calling, a drive to take our craft further, to push boundaries, and maybe even turn it into something more than just a pastime. Yet, the path from passionate dabbler to dedicated artist isn't always straightforward. It's full of pitfalls, self-doubt, creative blocks, and moments of questioning if we're truly on the right track. If you've ever found yourself wondering whether you are genuinely serious about your art, or if it's something you simply dabble in, you're not alone. Consider this. Do you find yourself excitedly making plans for grand art projects, but rarely seeing them through to completion? Do you spend more time gathering supplies and watching tutorials than actually putting paint to canvas? These behaviors aren't uncommon, and they don't make you less of an artist, but they might point to areas where you need to reflect and refocus if you want to deepen your commitment to your art. The truth is, becoming serious about art isn't about making sweeping declarations or quitting your day job to live the artist's life. It's about cultivating habits, embracing discomfort, and nurturing a relentless drive to grow. It's about showing up on days when inspiration is nowhere to be found, being open to feedback even when it stings, and consciously choosing creation over consumption. Above all, it's about aligning your daily actions with your artistic aspirations, however big or small they may be. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 5 key signs that indicate you're serious about your art. Think of these as guideposts to reflect on your creative journey. You might see yourself in some of these points or find areas where you'd like to grow. Either way, these insights will help you understand what it truly takes to step beyond being a hobbyist and embrace the role of a committed artist. So, how serious are you about your art? Let's find out together. You show up even when it's hard. I have a friend who's been working on a novel. She's talented and has made good progress, but it remains unfinished because she needs to be in the right headspace for writing. Sound familiar? While it's lovely to create when inspiration strikes, waiting for that magical moment can keep you perpetually stuck. The difference between an amateur and a dedicated artist often boils down to this: showing up regularly, even when motivation wanes. True commitment to your craft means finding the discipline to work through creative blocks, self-doubt, or plain old fatigue. Author Elizabeth Gilbert likens this persistence to eating a crap sandwich. Are you willing to swallow the unappetizing aspects of creativity to reach your goals? Those who are serious about their art know that uninspired days are not evidence of failure or a lack of ability. Instead, they are simply a part of the process. Of course, it's worth emphasizing that there is nothing wrong with creating solely for joy. If you're a hobbyist who loves to paint on weekends or dabble occasionally, embrace that. But if you're seeking a deeper connection to your art, if you want to see your art evolve, reach audiences, or become a profession, you'll need to go beyond when you feel like it. Schedule consistent art sessions on your calendar and treat them like appointments you can't miss. Commit to creating something, even if it's a rough sketch or a few strokes on canvas. You'll build momentum and make creativity a habit. You're willing to get uncomfortable. Growth rarely happens in comfort zones. Peak by Anders Ericsson, a book I often recommend, delves into what makes someone an expert across many disciplines. Contrary to popular belief, it's not just about putting in 10,000 hours of practice, as Malcolm Gladwell famously suggested. It's about deliberate practice. And that kind of practice, it's uncomfortable. Artists serious about improving their craft know that stepping outside of their comfort zones is crucial. This means pushing yourself to try new techniques, accepting failures as learning opportunities, and confronting perfectionism head on. As a recovering perfectionist myself, I can attest that avoiding mistakes feels safe but stalls progress. Learning to live with discomfort and seeing it as essential to your growth is key to elevating your art. But not all discomfort is created equal. There's a sweet spot. Challenge yourself just enough to make progress, but not so much you feel overwhelmed and burnt out. If you're highly sensitive like me, this balance is especially important. Begin with manageable challenges that stretch you without breaking you. And when you're going through a major move, a health crisis, a moment of loss, etc., well, these are not the times to be super challenging yourself with your art. If you fear sharing your work, start small. This is a muscle we need to exercise. Show it to a trusted friend or post anonymously online. Gradually increase your exposure to feedback as you grow more comfortable. Identify one aspect of your art practice that feels daunting. Break it into smaller, more approachable tasks. Track your progress, celebrate small wins, and notice how your confidence grows. You actively seek and embrace feedback. Artists serious about their craft understand the power of constructive feedback. Erickson's research highlights that those who grow rapidly and achieve mastery often work with coaches, mentors, or peers, or all the above, who provide guidance and critique. This feedback loop accelerates learning and helps refine one's skills. And while you and I may not be training to be the next Olympic swimmer, these concepts apply to anyone developing new skills or improving their skills. Let's be real. Feedback isn't always easy to hear. Many artists have horror stories of harsh critiques that stung so deeply they considered giving up. Poorly delivered criticism can be damaging, but when done right, constructive feedback becomes a tool for growth. Serious artists seek out feedback even when it's difficult. They understand that they have blind spots, areas where their brain simply filters out details. To truly see like an artist, you must train your eyes and mind to notice subtleties in composition, color, light, form. This is easier to do when someone with experience can point out what you're missing. I've created a feedback framework to make constructive criticism safer and more digestible. If you've had a negative experience with feedback in the past, you are not alone. My framework walks you through the process, step by step, building your confidence and helping you process feedback in a way that feels empowering. You can check out my video on this topic, linked here and in the description below. Start by seeking feedback from someone you trust. Ask specific questions about areas where you'd like to improve. Gradually expand your circle of feedback. And remember, it's okay to take what resonates and leave what doesn't. You spend more time creating than consuming. It's easy to fall into the trap of productive procrastination. You might buy art supplies you think you need, watch countless tutorials, or scroll through Instagram for inspiration. These activities feel productive, but pale in comparison to the growth that happens when you're actively creating. The dopamine rush from a new brush or an inspiring video is short-lived. What truly moves the needle is time spent with your hands dirty, sketching, painting, sculpting. Serious artists prioritize creation over consumption. This doesn't mean you shouldn't learn from others, quite the opposite. But be intentional about how you use that knowledge. Choose teachers whose expertise aligns with your goals. If you work in realism, studying with an abstract artist may not offer immediate value, unless, of course, you want to loosen up your style. I find myself doing this a lot on the business side of my life. I can research, study, listen to hundreds of podcasts, and sometimes I think I'm avoiding the actual testing of strategy because it feels better to be learning through consuming. It's way more uncomfortable to test ways of connecting and selling and learning through action. See sign number 2 again, willingness to be uncomfortable. Track your time spent creating versus consuming. For example, for every hour spent watching a tutorial, challenge yourself to spend twice that time applying what you've learned. Describe the new boundaries you've set for yourself in the comments below. You have a clear vision and are honest with yourself. Not everyone needs to make a living from their art or to take their art super seriously, and that is perfectly valid. But being serious about your art requires clarity. Have you asked yourself why you create? What are your goals for your work? If it's about self-expression and joy, that's wonderful. If you dream of exhibiting, selling, or impacting others, you'll need to set a different course. Being clear about your intentions lets you align your actions with your aspirations. It helps you stay grounded when things get hard and reminds you why you're pushing yourself to grow. Honesty about your goals also means recognizing when it's time to change course, pause, or shift your priorities. Take time to reflect on what art means to you. Write it down. Are you at peace with your current level of engagement, or do you want more? If you're ready for the next step, define what that looks like and make a plan to get there. You don't have to do this alone either. This is exactly the kind of thing I do inside Self-Taught to Self-Confident, where I guide people through filling in any gaps in their skill so they confidently express themselves through unique, original art. I can show you how to draw or paint anything you want. If that sounds exciting to you, you can learn more when you sign up for my workshop, How to Create Art from Your Imagination, for free. You'll enjoy a taste of my teaching, learn more about the program, and get a special 7-day enrollment offer when you sign up. Use the link here or in the comments below. Know thyself, know your art. In exploring the 5 signs of artistic seriousness, we've walked through the importance of consistent practice, the willingness to embrace discomfort, the value of seeking and receiving feedback, the commitment to using your supplies more than acquiring them, and the conscious choice to engage with teachers and materials that align with your goals. These traits don't exist to set up a rigid standard or gatekeep what it means to be an artist. They're meant to prompt self-reflection and personal growth. The heart of this conversation isn't about forcing every creative soul into a box labeled serious artist. It's about understanding who you are and what you want from your art. For some, the joy of creation lies in the spontaneity and freedom of when you show up. Art can be playful and an escape and a personal sanctuary and a beloved hobby. There's no shame in any of those things. In fact, it's a beautiful way to engage with creativity. And if that's what you want, go for it. And if you find yourself yearning for something more, if you dream of mastering your craft, sharing your work with the world, or making a lasting impact through your art, then these signs may serve as helpful guideposts. They can push you to recognize areas where you might need to stretch, grow, or shift your mindset. Ultimately, knowing whether you're serious about your art comes down to knowing yourself. Ask yourself the hard questions. What role does art play in my life? What do I hope to achieve with my work? Am I willing to put in the effort, face discomfort, and welcome growth? There is no right or wrong answer, only the answer that's right for you. So whether you're here to elevate your craft to new heights or simply to savor the joy of making, remember that art is a reflection of you. Serious or not, it's about finding your truth, expressing it with courage, and creating in a way that feels authentic to you. Your journey is your own, and that's what makes it so powerful. As always, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe to Artist Strong. You can never miss an episode that way. I am so thankful for your presence and your contribution. Your comments are amazing. Remember, proudly call yourself an artist. Together, we are Artist Strong.